Well, hi, my name's Noori and this is my story. I was born in Mumbai in India and I was put into Mother Teresa's orphanage as a baby. The story is that I was put into a basket and placed on the doorstep, and fortunately the right people picked me up and it was the Sisters of Mother Teresa, and I was put into their orphanage that they had, Missionaries of Charity. I wasn't there for a very long time and an Englishman and a Scottish woman came along and they decided that they wanted to adopt me to be their little daughter. They'd actually already seen a little girl before they'd seen me who was called Noori, but she passed away while they were at the orphanage. And then after that, the sisters showed them me, and I didn't have a name, so they decided to call me Noori, and I was very ill as well, and they decided to put me into the hospital, and they came and visited me every day, and apparently I was so small my dad could just fit me in his hand. If it wasn't for them, I don't think I would still be alive today. It's quite a profound thing to look back at and think, but that's how it was. And I was taken back to live in Dubai where I grew up, and I was also taken back on 2 occasions to India to go back to the orphanage and not only have a holiday, but I was actually given the amazing privilege of choosing sisters, which is a very strange concept. And I remember when they put Priya in my arms, she just smiled at me, and I just knew that she was to be my sister. The last time we went to India, not only came back with a sister, and her name's Millie, but we met Mother Teresa too, which was pretty incredible. We were all brought up in Dubai. I lived there for 16 years. After 16 years, my dad asked me if I would like to go to Scotland, where my mum's family are based, and to study music, to concentrate on that, because that was my love and my passion, and that's where I studied for. I went to Edinburgh for 3 years, studied there. I met my future husband-to-be in my final year. I decided that I still wanted to continue music. I always thought that I might teach, but I decided that I wanted to study it a bit more, so I did some musical auditions and got a place in Cardiff at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama. We were living in Grangetown at the time. We decided that we wanted to start going to church when we came to Cardiff. We just wanted to belong to something, because we were so far away from our families. We went to a local church that was actually just down the road from where we lived, and it was Steve that went first actually, and somebody who was at the door was just so welcoming and so friendly and so lovely, and inviting us to come along to Sunday worship and to meet some people, and it was during that first year that just from being part of the fellowship and just watching everyone and listening to people's testimonies and listening to about how God had touched their lives and what he was doing in their lives, I soon very quickly wanted to give my life to Jesus too. And I remember the night that I did that with Steve. We both gave our lives at the same time, and I remember we went round to our friend's house who was a minister, and I said, I want to give my life to Jesus. And I remember she said a prayer with us, and I'll never forget how grateful I felt. What a sense of relief I felt, and an acceptance and a love that was so much more than anything in my life I'd experienced. College was a very competitive environment, and I soon found that I wasn't competitive, I just enjoyed music, so I didn't really fit in. In my final year at the college, I was given the opportunity to do a placement, and I decided to go to Calcutta. It was a school that seek to help severely underprivileged children and teach them music. And I was absolutely petrified of going on my own, to be honest, because I thought, I don't even speak the language. I may look the part, but I don't sound the part at all. What can I do on my own? But I felt God saying, that is where I want you to go. And I just felt filled with God's compassion for them, and such gratitude in my own heart for all that I'd been given, that I was able to share with them. And I soon found that music was just a vehicle that got me there. I saw that when you go where God calls you to go, filled with His strength, that you can overcome many fears. He showed me that when I could trust in Him, that He could do things that would really touch other people's hearts. I was able to give my testimony and share it with the children and tell them and encourage them that God loved them so much. I finished off at the music college and I'd lost quite a lot of my confidence. And I worked in a bakery for 3 years, and I just didn't feel like I was good enough to touch the piano. But I felt now, in hindsight, when I look back, that was when God was showing me who I actually was away from music. After that amount of time of not playing, I felt God starting to speak to me in a different way, in a new way, where He was putting words on my heart that I knew weren't my own. I was getting these beautiful words of poetry, and He'd even give me a little melody in my head and say, come back to the piano and find that melody on the piano. And because of the past experience, I didn't feel good enough to play, but He said, it doesn't matter, I want to hear you play. And when I would go to the piano and I'd find that little melody on the piano, it would open up into the most amazing, incredible time of worship and prayer that I'd ever had. And I knew that it was something God had given me as a gift, because in all the years that I'd studied the piano, I could never improvise, make it up as I was going along. I was always so used to reading music, and now it's being used as a way to help other people too, and to bring people into quietness and find that peace that I didn't have. And it's been in those times that I've really felt that He's shown me who I actually am and what He wants me to do. And now I feel like, while I wasn't sure what was happening with my music, He steered it in a different direction, and through that different direction He's shown me who I am, what He wants me to do, where my heart lies, and to be comfortable in who He's made me to be, which I am.